Peace be upon you, my brothers and sisters. In this video we will learn about the direction of the Qibla, especially from America and Canada. We will begin by learning about the maps of the wrong Earth and the flat Earth, then we will move to the spherical Earth, and the evidence for the correct direction of the Qibla depending only on sun direction and shadows. As for the flat-shaped map of the Earth, which they taught us in schools, or that we see printed, it is the shape of the world map, after the map of the sphere has been opened and stretched from all the upper and lower sides, so that it is flat and printable. So this is incorrect, and it is not possible relying on it, especially in determining trends, and here we give a simple example so that the follower understands what I mean. For example, at sunrise from the east, the sun moves to the west b, but how does the sun come back to rise again? Then how can we rely on this map, when the vast northern areas that are visible on it are nothing but one point that has been expanded to a large extent, so that we can make it is equal in length to the length of the equator, which is the largest linear distance on Earth. And the problem with the south is that anyone who relies on it is ignorant. His opinion is not taken into account because in reality it is nothing but this image. Or this map as an example. It is not possible to determine the direction of Mecca as southeast from Canada on this very wrong map. As for the known and disputed flat Earth, despite our doubts about its authenticity, the direction of the Qibla is in relation to Canada. North America is definitely the northeastern side, because the north is a point in the middle of this map, as is clear. In the case of a spherical Earth, knowing the direction of the Qibla depends on the direction of the sun and the shadows. We will consider Mecca to be the center of the world, where the sun reaches its zenith twice every year, exactly above the Kaaba in Mecca at noon, which allows knowing the Qibla, which is the direction towards the Kaaba. In other parts of the world, by observing the shadows of any vertical object or stick. This phenomenon occurs at 12:18 Saudi Arabia time, i.e. 9:18 Universal Time Coordinated, on May 27 or 28, depending on the year, and at 12:27 Saudi Time, 9:27 Universal Time Coordinated, on July 15 or 16. At these times, the sun appears in the direction of Mecca, and the shadows cast by objects determine the direction of the Qibla. On the other side of the world, and at two other moments of the year, the sun passes through the nadir, the exact opposite point, to the Kaaba, and casts shadows that point in the opposite direction, and thus also determine the directions of the Qibla. These times occur on January 13 or 14, at 0:30 a.m. Saudi time, 21:30 Universal Time Coordinated, and also on November 28 or 29 at 0:09 Saudi time, 21:09 Universal Time Coordinated. The shadow points towards Mecca because the path of the sun at those times is vertical, completely opposite to the Qibla every year, and this observation has been known since at least the 13th century. I leave you now, my brothers, until you notice that Mecca, and its corresponding point on the other hand, how did you determine the direction of the Qibla with ease? Whereas the lines connecting from the point opposite Mecca to Mecca are the guide lines exactly towards the direction of the Qibla, and until we are certain of them, there is only one line between any point to Mecca on the sphere, with the exception of the point opposite Mecca. Every place on the face of this earth has one direction towards Mecca, and this is clear. Follow the lines that define the directions. In the summer, for example on May 28, at 12 hours and 18 minutes Mecca time, where the sun will be our guide to heading to Mecca in the cities located towards Mecca, as is clear. And on November 28 at 12:30 after midnight, Mecca time, when the sun is vertically on the side opposite Mecca from the earth. Here, the shadow is our guide to heading to Mecca. As you see the verse about day and night, how they determine the Qibla. Here we see, as an example, the lines heading to Mecca from North America, where the direction is the northeast. Thank you for following, and I hope you can comment or inquire about any part of the video in a scientific manner.